and Tully continuing to report from the Republican Women's Meeting today about freedom and socialism. And we have Blanca Tapahuasco, who is from El Salvador. Blanca, I have been waiting to hear a story like yours so it could truly be conveyed to the American people what it's like to live under a communist government. Now, you came as a child. Tell us a little bit about that, please. Share that experience with us.
Yes, I did come as a child. I was born in San Salvador, El Salvador. The capital city is San Salvador. During the 1980s, the government actually had a revolutionary board, which means that it was both military and civilian run. We did not have a president until Duarte came into power. The sounds of war are atrocious. The cafe, which is coffee, was the main bread and butter.
Excuse me. When you say sounds of war, do you literally mean the sounds of bombings and military equipment around you?
Yes, this is the tanks. I recall the yelping of a dog as obviously either injured or eventually lost its life, and how we could not go to school for months on end. We were in our houses, not under the covers. We just were in our homes. It's put in a box, and then silence, and then you heard again the atrocities, and then that's what you lived day in and day out. I came here when I was 10 years old.
Excuse me. Shortages of food, right? Rations and...
Exactly. I remember just having one plate, and that was supposed to I never saw a vegetable until I came to the United States. I didn't know what a vegetable was. The rations were pretty much, not that we had to stand in lines, but there was no economic, no one was influenced to make entrepreneurship or to have a free society where you could work and thrive and raise your family. You couldn't go to school. War was going on. You didn't know as a child what was going on. You only heard the war at live. This was a breaking news live every day situation.
Unbelievable. So tell us about when you came to the United States.
Well, unfortunately, I was I was abused extremely in my early childhood years by several family members, and secretly a family member decided to put me up for adoption. And so a family from northern Baltimore County decided to proceed in the legal with the legal process. And it was not just myself, but my younger brother, who was 4 years younger than me. I was 10 and he was 6, and that was the first time I even realized I had a brother.
So do you appreciate the United States? Can you see socialism moving into the United States?
Socialism is already here in the United States, and that is by policies. People, when they migrate, power shifts. Think of it as a plate, and when those plates, one under the other, there is going to be an earthquake. So power, men and women, both, they love power. So when power and power both collide, the people are who suffers. The people do not establish policies. Politicians do the policy making. We have 3 branches of government, but we have often the executive branch speaking as if they want the Congress to go ahead and introduce a bill. And that
Excuse me, that's my question. Is that where you see the power shift?
Definitely. I don't see that as an American. We are encouraged to learn how our system was founded, because the word on the street, the word in the classroom, the word even before someone is born, basically we are eliminating someone from the womb, and if they survive the womb, they're going into a classroom. And so the shift is, if we can keep power, then we can exercise.
You mean the people? The people keep power. Is that what
Government.
Oh, the government.
If the government keeps power, then the people will be able to be suppressed, be kept at bay, and we can harness that, meaning the people can harness that by being an informed voter, by understanding how the system actually works, rather than in being really coerced to think that this is a racist country. It began that way. It will stay that way, and so you need to rebel. So there's many ways to look at this.
Well-
in that you can resist until you submit, or you can say enough is enough. I want my politicians to be held accountable to the people.
One other question. I know that education is very important to you, that you feel like critical race theory, I guess white supremacy, white privilege, is all being taught in the schools. And that's important to you. Summarize pretty quickly what you see is happening.
Well, I taught in both private and public school. I taught, and so I got not just a glimpse or the notes afterwards. I saw teachers, I witnessed teachers, basically from as young as 3 to 4 years old. Already, there isn't a traditional nucleus family. There is this other family. There is now this type of thinking, because as recently we heard on a presentation, is once they stop you from thinking, you can no longer have a voice.
I think what they want is for God to be out and the government to be our God. And that's what it really boils down to. So thank you so much for your story. I'm sorry for any pain that you have suffered throughout life, but we use those experiences, and it looks like they're being used with you to speak out and to help, because you're very brave, Blanca. Some people won't even speak out. So God bless you.
You too.
God bless America.